Oh, when I was 4 years old, we were out in camp, and so I was asleep on the bottom deck of a double-decker bed. Margaret was above. So I was sound asleep, and all of a sudden I began to cry. My mom looked over and saw that there were a rat, a huge rat, just sitting on top, reaching down to bite on my ear. And she shooed the rat off, and Dad followed the rat out to the out of the tent and shot it. And it was really had come in from the jungle and was chewing on my ear. And my brother Carl said if I hadn't had jam on my ear, the rat probably would not have come in. So I told him, well, the wolf probably wouldn't have come in if he hadn't been there, and the wolf wanted to carry him away, because when Carl was 8 months old, Aya was sitting at the head of the bed and was wakened when she felt the bed shaking, and she turned around, and a she-wolf had her mouth wide open over Carl's head, just ready to pick him up and carry him out. So she began yelling, and the dogs came and chased the wolf out the back of the tent, so that when Mom and Dad came back from the speaking engagement where they had been in the village, my mother said to my dad, well, that thing has been coming in here the last 2 months, 2 nights. And my dad said to her, what? Why didn't you tell me? And she said, because I could take care of it, and so I did. And he said, what did you do? She said, I picked up a pillow and shoved it out the back of the tent. Well, anyway, Dad then knew that if it had come 3 days and nights in a row, it would be coming back. And sure enough, so he sat up waiting with his gun at the front of the tent. Sure enough, after about an hour, the she-wolf came back, and she was just coming around to the front of the tent, and Dad had his gun ready, but it got the message that he was there. So the wolf went to the back of the tent, and the Dad walked to the back of the tent, and the wolf came to the front of the tent, and they walked back and forth like this until the wolf got tired of waiting and left. The next morning they left town because Dad knew that if it had come 3 nights in a row, it was coming back. So the stories about Romulus and Remus and other people who were taken and raised by wolves is probably very, very true, because when a she-wolf loses her cubs, or I don't know how many cubs she needs to lose, but if she loses her cubs, she tries to find a substitute. And I guess humans are easier to find than other animals, so they're apt to pick on humans to replace the dead ones. Now what? Now I would like to